Hi, in this installment, I'm going to talk to you about something that I guess matters a lot to you. Before I'm a trainer or a coach, I'm first a student, a learner, and just like you, in many courses that I attend, I have to answer some of the tough questions that I ask myself. Yeah, and if I can't answer those questions, then the chances of me taking that course is going to be very unlikely, because I want to be able to make sure that the program serve my needs and it is worthwhile my time. Yeah. So in this session, I'm going to explore three questions with you. One, first, can the trainer show me? Two, uh, can I actually use what I learned outside of class? Three, is this course really worth what I'm sacrificing for? So these are the three questions that I would like to explore during this session with you. And let's dive into the first one. Can the trainer show me? This is a very important one because as we go into any kind of training, right, uh, they would have their own what we call methodology, their process, their research, their models, their techniques. Any training that you go would have, and some are very backed up by very impressive universities, Cambridge, Oxford, Princeton, Harvard, and so on and so forth. But I have uh, very often when I'm sitting in the chair that you are sitting in, right, as a student, I hear a lot of impressive theories and models, but at the end, I'm wondering in the back of my mind, how do I actually go about using what you have just said in actual situation? How do I actually go about, you know, uh, uh, digesting the information and actually turning into an action that I can rely on, right, outside of class? So this is what I mean. Can you show me? That means at the end of the training, at the end of what we call the lecture, the information, the PowerPoints, can the trainer actually sit down and with someone or create a classroom situation where he actually show me step by steps or some form of a way to be able for me to utilize the information, and I can see him in action so that I can actually have an idea in my mind how it actually works, and even ask him questions on why he does certain things in a certain way, so that then I can actually fully understand and have some kind of an image in my mind on how to execute the thing. And the other thing that's also important is I get a chance to be able to what then take what I have seen and practice it on my own with a group of people with real problems in class. And on top of that, being supervised, being coached by people who are experienced in the process so that I know what I'm doing is right. So I think that's really important in the training. Yeah. And so let's move on quickly to the second point. Can I actually use it outside of class? Now, this is in somewhat tied up to the first part, right? But here I think that a lot of time when I'm a student, I go for training. Some of the situations that I learn in class, the scenario that has been created the by the trainer, it's it 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 seems to work, or it is something that's exciting, it's fun to do in exercises to do in the class. But at the same time, I also wonder, in my actual situation, would it actually work? Sometimes I don't walk away knowing that I'm confident that it will work. Yeah. And this is where the way I design my training program, that I get people to talk about their real situation, their real challenges in class, so that they can take what they have learned and apply exactly into their situation. In other words, they actually have some kind of a rehearsal in class so that they are able to see how it is, so they can see how their actions and their thoughts and their emotions will actually play out in their in their challenging situation. And the other thing that's also important is that uh, what is really important is that the information is not given just in terms of knowledge and information and models that you can see. It's also about how do you actually connect the head knowledge, right, into your body. That means, how do you actually get your knowledge to be manifested in your behavior and your actions? And on top of that, having the emotion to be able to carry it through. And this is where I think the punchline is. The punchline is in a very calm and relaxed situation, when you do simulation in a calm and relaxed situation, yeah, probably you can do it very well, very calm. There's no threat, you can do it very well. But in the real world, there are consequences, there are challenges, there are threats. You know what I mean? So unless in the classroom we are able to create some kind of what we call stress, healthy stress in terms that the stress is actually relevant in the real world, and to be able to do your simulation in that kind of setting, then it won't be something that's actually truly real for you. Yeah. And in fact, the research tells us that when people do any form of work, a routine task under what we call a calm situation, and the same task being done in a more stressful situation, and guess which group will do better? I think you already know the answer. The group that actually have been exposed to some form of stress actually do better because that situation is more real in real life. So that's something that we incorporate in the class to help people to get the confidence that they can actually apply what they have learned or what they have experienced in class. It can actually work outside. Yeah. And the last point is this course worth the time and the effort that I'll be sacrificing? Yeah. And this is something that is uh, very important to me. And in many of you, we all lead very busy lives. We got many stakeholders. We have our family, we have our loved ones. Some of us we have our pets, and uh, and uh, and work alone has got a lot of priority. So when we go for training, right, we need to know that our time will matter, the investment that we make will matter. So, and this we take that very seriously in our training. So as the way we design the way design our training, first and foremost we want to make sure that the environment that we create, right, is open and safe. We have a knack for doing that, creating an open and safe environment, and that is not just the trainer, me. It is also the team that I'm with and the coaches that comes back, and the way we run the class and the way we do the activity and the way we invite people, and the way we show as being open and non-judgmental, right? Help people to be able to feel safe. And why is that important? Because when people are feeling safe and open, then they can actually talk about things that are really bothering them, talk about things that's truly important for them, so they can work on the real issues and not some of the so-called facade that we bring into our lives, something that we cover up or something that we need to look good in front of people. So that is something that we orchestrate. It might take us a while sometimes, but nevertheless, we will get to a point where people is going to be open and feeling safe to be able to share. Yeah. And the other thing that's also important is uh, the training is not just about me. I have the privilege to be able to work with a very dedicated team, and they are just wonderful people. Uh, Not that I say so. The star of the show is often not me. The feedback that we get from the students is not about me. It's actually about the people that I work with. People like Hans, people like Celine, people like Joseph, people like Cassandra, and people like Pavita, and all those coaches that come with us. And they are the ones that actually make sure that all the participants are being taken care of. In fact, we have a competency building framework. That means we make the effort to track the performance of the people in the class. And if there are areas that there are some challenge or lacking, we make time to be able to work with them so that they know they got help, and we know that they are actually making a difference in certain areas of competency that's required in their evaluation on the last day. We want them to do well. So that's something that you got to know that we make a lot of effort to do. And how do we do this? In the set skills enhancement training. That means that the value that we add is not only in class but actually off class. Sometimes we might have up to 2 or 3 sessions of what we call skills enhancement training that happens outside of class. And the best part about this, we have exotic locations. The participants in the class actually offer their training room, offer their workspace, offer their office for us to be able to go and do the practice session, to practice the things that they have done. Not to get together and talk, but they get together to deal with real problems, applying the tools that they have learned into the practice session. And that's when people get the competence and the confidence. There's no way you can get competence and confidence by just talking, by just listening, by taking down notes. You have to be able to practice. And we create the environment for that to happen. And one more thing, we also have what we call a PCAP, which is a post-course action plan. That means after the last day of the program, they set an outcome to follow up 1 month after the training program. And me and my associates will actually rally all the class participants to have what we call a webinar online with the video on, and we can see each other and we practice our skills, we ask questions, and I'll reverse engineer the success of one or two individuals in the group to share with the entire group. So, I think I've said a lot already. There's a lot more I want to say, but I think it's enough right now to say that um, we really take our work with pride. And as I said earlier on in my the other video, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know. I know I've been very richly blessed. And it is from this deep felt sense, of space of gratitude that I do the work that I do. And I also believe that the associates that work with me, they come from that space too. They want to simply be able to give what they have been given, what they have gotten, to be able to make a difference. So I invite you to connect with us as soon as you can. There's so many ways you can get in touch with us: email, Facebook, WhatsApp, and so on and so forth. Give us a call so that we can have a conversation. And realize this: you might just be one conversation away to connecting all the dots in your life.